Greetings 1060. How's everyone doing? Welcome to week 11. This week we're working on our Project 2 Collaborative Research Progress Report memos. I've also been meeting with several of your teams, a few more teams to meet with this week. I've really enjoyed those meetings. Thank you so much for taking the time. They've really been super awesome. So thank you. So I wanted to dedicate at least one video to talk about Project 2, the Collaborative Progress Report memo assignment itself. I know we've talked about it. I've kind of reviewed it, but I also put together a template for you. It might help you think about how to write the memo. If you've already kind of started putting pieces together, you can copy and paste what you have into this template. It's on here as a Google Doc. So I think you'll find that beneficial. And of course, this Sunday we'll submit the Progress 2 report memo. And I'm going to be doing something very similar for Project 3, where you have those, put those kind of same sections together for you as well. So we'll take a look at those here. But first we'll start with the Project 2 Collaborative Progress Report memo. And like I said, this is pretty straightforward. And I think with the template, you'll see that makes it even perhaps more easier to think about what goes in where or how to format it as a memo. So three kind of major items here give your instructor a good sense of what you've accomplished, kind of what's the progress, and then if there's any problems that you've encountered or some difficulties or maybe some snags along the way, that's perfectly fine. Those are expected, right, with a project, especially right now. There's also this option if you want to do a more formal kind of like a SWOT analysis. You could do strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That is perfectly fine. I find students sometimes find that easier to structure what it means to like encounter problems or overcome things, or even think about your teams individually. Which one makes more sense? So I'm fine with either one. And then update any necessary changes to your schedule as described in your project plan, or what would be the project proposal. All right, so if we look at the template, which you're welcome to use here, it's why I say it's like standard memo format. We're not necessarily using MLA or APA specifically. So you have to, me, from, and then you list everyone in your on your team. And then if someone wanted to put their major or their field off to the side, that's perfectly fine. It's a nice touch. Of course, the date, you adjust the date accordingly. And then enter your problem here, progress report, or your team name or something like that kind of identifies that. And then here, kind of like the major section. So just introduction. This is where you would just kind of introduce your topic. This will largely can probably be taken from your research proposal. Then you would give me a progress update and use these headings here, right? So in this section here, you would tab in, and this is where you would then you could start doing your typing, and put in whatever. Let's get out of this. Whatever information that you have. So right? So you're typing, etc., etc. It's going to show edits not here because I'm on anyway. Introduction. Then you have your progress update and any project issues, or if you want to do the more specific SWOT analysis, you could do that. And then report any like schedule changes or alterations to any schedule or any like due dates that you've got coming up. You could reflect back on your project proposal as well for that. And then conclusion, kind of give me like conclusion is kind of like in a memo. In this particular case would be, here's what we're going to do from here. Here's what we've got left to do. Here's what's coming. Here's what we're going to be working on to get this project done before the end of the semester or the due dates, or however you want to term that. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. And that's really what we're kind of focused on right now. Really, it's literally what it states. So you're giving me a progress update. Okay. All right. So progress report memo. There it is in all its glory. Okay. You feel free to use that template. Just provide the details of what you've done, kind of problems maybe that you've encountered, anything else that you need to tell me, and kind of what you're going to do from there. And it's really that straightforward. And we'll be back to talk about Project 3 later on in the week. Stay safe and stay awesome. Bye, guys.